How are you, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Engineer Noel Kengowi, and today I'd like to talk to you about the need for African engineers to come to the basics. Why do we need to come back to the basics? You know, there was industrial revolution in the 18th, 19th century in Europe, and before that industrial revolution, there were some discoveries which were made, like electromagnetism, other issues of, say, machines and drives, strengths of materials, which were discovered in that century. But Africa, up to now, after 60 years of independence, have not been able to translate those theories into solving actual problems. For example, why are we getting motors from Europe, from China, and from anywhere instead of making them in Africa? You know, the electromagnetic theories were discovered in the 19th century, and using those electromagnetic theories, we can design electric motor, we can design transformers, we can design generators, and so on. Using the mechanical theories which are discovered maybe in that century also, we can design the machines, drives, and whatever. And those normally were being taught in the book known as Fundamentals of Engineering Sciences. I remember during those years, good years, we were being taught these theories in the ordinary level education. And now, for example, in Tanzania, from 1996, we had what they called the National Technical Education Policy, and they removed those technical schools. They said from now onwards, the most technical Ifunda and Mazengo and Tanga Technical School will no longer be technical schools. So they decided to abandon those technical schools, and they say we need technical colleges. What they did not know is that we were studying the basics first in technical schools before joining technical colleges. So we became technicians even before going to technical colleges. Now, many technicians and engineers who are passing through these colleges have what I can call learning gap, because they don't have the basics. First, you need to understand the basics, then you learn how to design a machine or a building or electrical system or whatever. You need to have basics first. So we are teaching people to design those structures, machines, and whatever, while we have not given them the basics, because we short-circuited our educational system. And of course, because I love my country, Tanzania, and Africa in general, I have decided to prepare some, clips or some videos in my YouTube account to teach about these basics. One, let us learn electromagnetism. Young Africans, let us learn electromagnetism. You can find it in my YouTube account. I want people to have basics to design motors, generators, and transformers. And then I have another video in my YouTube account which speaks about the strengths of materials. I have noted people studying at universities claiming the formulas for designing of structures, say building, bridges, and whatever. They're claiming the formulas instead of understanding those basics. And those basics theories were being taught for mechanical engineer, electrical, whoever is studying engineering, because we need to have people who have got a general knowledge and who can design whatever comes their way. For example, you may be a civil engineer working in a certain construction site, and you want to make a system for conveying concrete from ground up to upper stories. You can design it, why not? But you need to have the basics. Africa will not be innovative, will not be able to adapt those technologies of the 19th century if we don't change the way we think. Normally when engineers meet, we are discussing a lot about sciences and not about the application of the sciences or technology. We are talking about researches. We are talking about, introduction, historical background, data collection, and analysis, conclusions and recommendations. We are recommending for the government to do this and that and that. But when we come out of our meetings, we don't come and say, okay, now I have an idea, I can make my electric motor. I can solve this and that problem. We need to meet as problem solvers and not only as scientists. An engineer is more than a scientist. An engineer is a problem solver. For example, in Tanzania, we are the second, I think, or the third country with cattle in Africa. But we are not doing enough to process the cattle skins and hides to make jackets, to make shoes and whatever. So we are just making soup using that skin, which is not proper, which is underutilization of the resources. Tanzania also is the second country in Africa which makes cashew nut. I think Tanzania and Mozambique are the leading countries in Africa for cultivation of cattle or of cashew nut. But more than 90% of all the cashew nut from Tanzania goes outside unprocessed. So we are exporting, the employment opportunities to the Asian countries. We need to come to the fundamentals. So when the African engineers meet, we are always discussing about the scientific theories, about regression analysis, and about whatever. But we are not solving actual problems because we have forgotten our basics. We have forgotten why are we available in this continent at this period. But if we change our mindset, I tell you that there will be not technological revolution, it will be technological explosion in Africa. Dear African engineers, let us change our mindset. Let us come to the basics. Thank you for listening to me.